I hope you had a wonderful Heroes Day. My name is Edmond Safari. And today we talk about the unsung heroes in our lives. Now, talking of Heroes Day, how would you describe one? Now, with me in studio is a beautiful lady, both in heart and mind and body, who left the city of Boston towards and come up with a new venture in the hills of Kigezi, where she's a founder and director of Grace Villa, an orphanage center for vulnerable girls, giving each girl a possible chance to rise above their past and environment, to make it happen in the near future. An important task that the communities of Kabale have entrusted her. Welcome and good evening to the show.
Thank you, Edmund. It's good to see you.
So who is Ruth Bahika, and tell us a bit of yourself.
Well, again, thank you. I'm really honored to be on your set today, Edmund.
A pleasure.
You've pretty much summed it up. Well, I'm a child psychologist by profession. I went to school here in Uganda, in Nairobi for a few years, in the USA, but 3 years ago moved back to Uganda. I'm the founder and CEO of the home that you mentioned, Grace Villa Home and Sanctuary for Orphans and Vulnerable Girls in Kabale.
Apparently you were born in the United States of America to Ugandan parents. Mm-hmm. And you crisscrossed 7 primary schools, mm-hmm. 4 high schools. Is this right?
Yeah, it's true. I'm sort of a nomad. My family kind of moved around quite a bit. I was born to 2 reverends, Reverend Canon James Bahika and Reverend Canon Grace Bahika. I'll just put in there that Mom was the first woman to become ordained in the Anglican Church in Africa. Mm-hmm. Anyway, they moved to, if I tell you the story, it kind of puts me in an age bracket, but they moved to Chicago mainly to pursue a further education. And so basically I was following my parents as they pursued a further education. I was born in Chicago, Obamaland, and then moved to Scotland, Aberdeen, then moved to Nairobi, Kenya, then to Uganda, and then, well, basically, but the life of a reverend, you go where they send you, and then you also follow your further education. So that's kind of what happened to me. And
you studied undergraduate in early childhood development and psychology at Wheelock College.
I did.
Where you lived and worked in Boston since 1992.
Yeah, I was there for about 20 years. I ended it's part of my education there, and then started university and worked there for many years.
So where do you get this awakening call to start contributing to Uganda?
Well, it's a long story, but I'll cut it short. It starts with a couple of friends that we had, and we used to do movie nights together. Every month we'd go to a different friend's home, and it was our night to host movie night. I lived with my brother Apollo in Boston, and this group of Americans came to our home and brought a DVD called Invisible Children. I'm sure many of you have heard about it. Yes. And this was the rough cut right in the beginning, before it had spread, right in the beginning. Nobody knew about it. So I remember I watched it in our home, and I went to my room and cried. And if you've watched it, you know how tough it is to see the atrocities that Joseph Kony carried out against the children of northern Uganda. Mm-hmm. So I remember the people asked, so what is this? What's happening? And I had no idea. So I was ashamed, I was embarrassed, and I was sad for my people. And here I am working as a child psychologist with children in another country, and I didn't even know the plight of children in my own country. So when they left, I went to the back of the DVD and got the phone number and email, and we contacted the Invisible Children. Mm. So I became the East Coast representative for the Invisible Children. So this was Ruth, who was very shy. I hated public speaking and all that, but I had to be the voice for these children. So I'd go to schools, like universities, ended up meeting Senator Edward Kennedy, and we even met Oprah at one point. It became a fight, because I felt I was the voice, we were the voice for these children. So holidays coming home ceased to be going just to hang out. They became me going to spend time in Gulu or going to Fort Portal to an orphanage, things that made me feel fulfilled. So I guess that was the beginning, the background of the story. And I found that I actually enjoyed doing that. You know, when you find something that gives you joy, passion. Yeah, it's a rare, I mean, we can go our whole lives without finding what our passion is, but I actually found that that gave me joy. So I got to practice as a psychologist with our own children and feel like I was actually making a difference.
And in 2013, you say Boston bye-bye and hello Chigezi.
Yeah.
And you found Grace Villa in February 2013. Tell me more about Grace Villa.
Okay. Like I said at the beginning, it's a home, just like you and I grew up in. What made us who we are today? What gave us the confidence to do what we're doing? What gave us the security? Why are we able to even love? So I set out to create that setting. I mean, who are we? Why are we lucky enough to be born within some sort of warm family setting? So I found a home, and pretty much I'm the mom, I'm the cook, I'm the everything in the home, and the children are the children. So they get to be what children should be. You know, they get to be loved, they get to be punished when they do wrong, they get to learn how to do chores around the house. We put them through school, give them an education, and basically it's, you know, when you say a home, that's what it is.
Why the name Grace Villa?
Grace is my mom's name.
Okay.
I mentioned what she is in the Anglican Church of Uganda, and it's not just the religious aspect, but the fact that she knew what she wanted and set out to do it, despite it being a man's world. And she's faced a lot of adversity, but moved on strong with so much grace and dignity. So it's this kind of story that inspires, like, my children, people who feel like they can't do, you know. So she's my mentor, my inspiration, and I hope her story inspires my children and other stories of people who have gone through the struggle. And yeah, so I named it after my mom, but also the word grace. When you think of grace, you know, I want my children to grow up to have grace, you know, to be graceful. And also we are but for the grace of God. So yeah.
And when you come back to Uganda,
yeah.
You say you went to the northern region, Fort Portal. And then why did you set up base in Kabale?
Well, I'm a Muchiga, so as you can see.
Yeah.
Muchiga. And I speak the language, and the original plan was for us to use, the family gave me our family home. So it was going to give me a sort of soft landing. I've spoken about it before, also the issue of trust. If people are going to give you their children, you know, I can mention my parents. My mom used to be the vicar of the cathedral there, and my dad was the chancellor of one of the universities there. So people know the name. So that gave me that security thing. You know, I mean, the comfortability of the people in the community. And then also, yeah, I guess I wanted to go back to my homeland, you know, my home, you know, where I'm from, and do the best that I could do for my people.
Am I right to say or assume that your parents pushed you into serving humanity?
They didn't push me.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I understand what you're asking.
Yeah.
I think you're asking me my background.
Yes.
Yeah, you grow up within a family of, imagine, double reverends. You learn about humanity, you learn about service, you learn about your doors are never shut, you know, at whatever hours they are. You learn that your behavior reflects upon your parents, because the next day they're going to be in the pulpit, you know, preaching, and if your child is out there messing up, it will affect how people react to what your parents do. So yeah, you grow up with a heightened sense of who you are and your family, and me in particular, I'm very close to my family, so I always grew up wanting to make them proud, and you know, and yeah, and I think all my family, I do this with them. This is not just me. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't have even started. So all of them put in 100%, you know, even finances, even our first saucepan and our first everything comes from my immediate family and my extended family.
And Grace Villa is more focused on girl child.
It is.
Why?
Well, first of all, you have to start somewhere, right? And it's just me. I'm not backed by any big NGO or anything. So imagine me with a mixed home. How am I going to oversee both boys and girls? I believe we're going to grow. By faith, we're going to grow. And we'll have a Grace Villa for boys eventually, with a boy, you know, a male chaperone and warden in that home. But also, you know, we have to speak facts. I'm helping a group that's vulnerable, that's disadvantaged, so to speak. So if you look at all the statistics out there, they talk about if you empower a woman or a girl, she's more likely to help her family and her community. In fact, the statistics are pretty huge. It says a girl will give 90% of her earnings to her family and her community, And can you guess what a boy would do? A boy would give 35% of his earnings to his family and community. So if you want to think of a long-term impact or a ripple effect kind of thing, you know that if you empower a girl, she's going to be a powerful future mother, you know, a sister, brother. She's going to impact the entire community by a ripple effect. So that's mainly why we started with girls.
How challenging is it running Grace Villa?
It's challenging. If I didn't love what I was doing, it would be really, really tough. But I love it. I love where it is. The environment helps. I mean, you wake up in the morning and you hear the birds and you just see the hills outside the window. And then God blessed me with good kids. Maybe it's me, my impact on them, I don't know. But we have very, very, very good kids. The age range is from 6 to, I think the eldest is now 18 or 19. So they all help each, we pair, big sister, little sister. They all help in the house. They all help with homework. They all, you know, if someone is in trouble, it's, you know, we have family court. So that helps. The tough parts are finances, you know, coming up with food, coming up with school fees for all 210 girls that we have. And then also, sometimes, yeah, you get lonely a bit because you're the only adult in that situation. And then the toughest thing is turning people away. Because we get, the toughest stories come through our gate, and then you're full, you know, you don't have any money, but you can't take that person, and there's nobody else to pass that person on to. So I think my toughest thing is not being able to do as much as I would like to do. So yeah.
And when we come back from the commercial break, we shall join the conversation. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying tuned on 30 Minutes with Edmond Safari on Urban TV. Now, earlier on, we were talking to Ruth about Grace Villa and the challenges they go through. Ruth, last week, you came up with this campaign, a massive campaign, I should say, Climb Mount Muhabura for Grace Villa. I just need to know, how was the feedback? No, even before we go to the feedback, tell me more about that campaign that you dubbed Climb Mount Muhabura for Grace Villa.
Yeah. that was fun. That was a lot of painful fun. It was called #Climb Muhabura for Grace Villa, and the 4 was at number 4. So some of our kids are from Kisoro, first of all, and 3 years ago I climbed Muhabura. I went through that experience and reached the top, and I think it was one of the defining things that I did in my life, empowering and all that. So we're trying to think of a creative way to kind of highlight Grace Villa and what we're doing. And that climb is very, very tough. I mean, people who've done Rwenzori even come and fail to do Muhabura because it's really, really intense. You're going through different altitudes, and it's 27 meters above sea level, and you're doing it in one day up and down. So we said this is going to symbolize the struggles that vulnerable girls go through every day. You know, you fall down, you get up. If you have a friend, they pull you up. Sometimes you reach the top, or you fail and you dust yourself off and you try again. So it was one of those things where we said it will symbolize the struggle that orphans and vulnerable girls all around the world go through every single day. And people said yes. As we're climbing, people said, okay, this is intense, because we were about 60 people who climbed, which was a huge turn up. The UWA usually allows only 30 people to climb, but they kind of pushed the numbers for us. Only 7 or 8 made it to the top. And but despite that, huge feedback of people who loved the experience. And so much that we're even asking, when is the next one, when is the next one? People are asking. And stay tuned for the next announcement, because the same weekend next year we're going to actually go to Kidepo. I hadn't told you yet, but yeah. We're going to do one of the mountains in Kidepo because we want a different region. This is not just for children in Western Uganda. and we're climbing to a people called the Ik. It's a community that lives above one of the mountains in Kidepo, and it's a very vulnerable community for different reasons, which people will now start to research and find out about. And it will kind of be Grace Villa giving back, because everybody who climbs is going to bring something that they need. And so it will be a lot of fun, because Kidepo was ranked one of the, I think, top 3 in Africa by CNN. And it's an amazing place, and yeah, so that's the next plan.
And you hope that these challenges will always be annual?
Yes. I mean, we didn't think that, but because of the massive feedback, and we have a Facebook group, WhatsApp group, and called Friends of Grace Villa, and I know they're all watching today, and it's a big group of over 200 people. And on Facebook, even Uwa people, even people from Kigezi, Kampala, Mbara, people are all Facebooking and WhatsApping, trying to find out how can they join the next one. So because of that, and because it did well, it was our first one ever, and we did very well. We even got Mount Ngahinga Volcano Safaris gave us a huge discount on the hotels. We got all this sponsorship, VOK Kabale, and it was great. So yes, we're going to do another one, and we hope it will be even better than this one.
Let's talk about again Grace Villa with the challenges. Do you have any income generating activities apart from these fundraisers that you can kickstart and you are sure that there is a continuity of programs?
Actually, this was our first fundraiser ever that we did, this climb. I've been in existence for 3 years. We had not done a fundraiser yet. I'm really bad at asking for help. I often hope that people will see what we're doing and say, and it happens. People actually see what we're doing and offer. And I've talked about it before, people in the community also give a lot. We have someone who gives us milk every single day. And she's a regular person. We have someone who brings us eggs and stuff. But what we do as a home is we do sustainability projects. One huge thing that has happened for us this year is I don't know if you know, but we've purchased a guest house in the middle of Kabale. Former Edirisa is now Grace Villa Kwanzi. The former owners gave us helped us get it by giving us a way of paying for a long time. But it's a small guest house, but that's where our shop for the things that the girls make is located, because the girls make really beautiful things out of kitenge and stuff, which are popular in the community. That's where our bakery is located. The girls make stuff. That's where our office will be, because people have been coming to our home. But remember, it's a girls' home, so we need to have a space that's separate from the home. That's where our home will be. Volunteers now will be staying in a place where they will actually pay money to Grace Villa. That will also give us some extra income. So it will be a great training ground for the kids. I mean, they're all going to be working there during the holidays and stuff. So yeah, and then we grow our own crops. We eat a lot of our own food. And when the kids make stuff, for instance, things that they made last year, I took to the UNA convention, and that actually paid for a big percentage of their school fees. So the kids are actually paying their own school fees. Imagine how empowering that is, telling the girls that you're paying your own fees.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are your dreams for these girls in the future?
Well, I always tell them, and they also say it now, you can be anything you want to be in this world, but nothing can stop you if you have the vision and help. So the help is us. So when you donate or you sponsor a child and give them school fees, you're giving them that platform. You know, these are very, very brilliant children, you know, top percentile even in the district, if you give them a chance. So I want them to reach as far as everybody else wants their children to reach. Some, of course, not interested in education. So formal education is not the only answer. We have this tailoring. We have one of the girls is now learning the hairdressing, is in a hairdressing school. That's what she wants to do. But the majority want an education. That's actually the #1 thing that people ask for when they come through our gate. So we're thinking these are the future presidents, future CEOs, future doctors, nurses, teachers of Uganda.
These girls you're protecting and mentoring, these girls who are imprinted in your heart, what happens to them past their A levels?
Past A level?
Yeah, past their A levels.
So we now have 2 girls, Fiona and Doreen, who are watching, who just finished senior 6. So Fiona is going to university. Doreen is still figuring out what she's going to do next. she's probably also going to go to university. So it's just a heightened education. But yes, and the age of autonomy is 21 in our home. So what we thought when we were putting those boundaries, putting our principles in place, was by 21 they should be able to look after themselves based on what we're doing with them at the home. So just like you in your home, by 21 you should be able to move out. Grace Villa will always be their home, their base. You know, I keep telling them we're going to get cows, you know, eventually. But we expect them to develop and move on to bigger and better things, but having Grace Villa as their base.
In your 1 second, your closing remarks.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Well, no, I'm just honored and blessed. I feel like it's an opportunity of a lifetime for me to be able to influence the children in this way. Support us, join us, come visit us in Kabale, and once you come, trust me, Edmund will tell you, you will want to come again and again to be a part of the journey of these children's lives, to help them be the best that they can be, and nothing should stop them.
Thank you very much. Now, earlier when I was in Grace Villa, these guys gave me a shirt and it was titled, "We Rise by Lifting Others." What a strong message I got out of there. And we are strong when we strengthen others, really. Grace Villa is a stuff of dreams giants dream of. We should pick a leaf from them and take a look around them and see who to lift. Grace Villa has lifted some girls, but we too can lift others around us. You should look around, share your knowledge, and take initiative like Grace Villa. Be the shield of the weak, so that they can remember that there is a power in numbers, power to the people. Of course, time has caught us, and remember to always follow us on Twitter and like our Facebook page. Till we meet again, bye.